Okay.
While you're doing that,
Beautiful.
just get this out.
Okay, this is 2 kilos of pollard available from IGA for about $4. It's finer than bran. And my calculations was I need 1.5 litres of liquid to this. So I had the molasses before. This is just molasses and some water. This is 500 ml. Let's see if I can shut. Probably could do with some more of that.
You want some FAA in there?
Yeah, I will put some of all of that in there. This is some of my homemade EM, which is basically just some fermented clay that I had. That wouldn't even have been a tablespoon. I've got some LAB. That's going in. What else have we got? That's molasses. That's rock dust. Yvette's kindly given us some
That one's apple cider vinegar.
apple cider vinegar. Oh, can't hurt.
Do you want anything else? Like FFJ or
If
snail
it-
amino
That one's the
acid?
FPJ, the other
That's
one.
FPJ.
Yeah.
Don't need the FPJ, I wouldn't think. That's alright. And this is elderberry.
That's aloe.
Hello. Hello, FPJ. It's only a couple of drops. What else have we got? Yeah, that's alright. Now.
Yeah, you want? I got some FAA if you want some as well.
Oh, yeah, that'll come in handy. These are just foods for the microbes, so. How's that smell?
Fresh caught fish.
Ooh, smelling like fish.
Yeah. Yeah. There you
Ooh,
go.
that's probably about 10 times as much as I need. But
Well, it's fungal food, so it's gonna
yeah,
be.
it's going to be good. Ah, that's the other thing I've got. What is that? Fermented seawater.
There you go. That's what you need.
Fermented seawater, and I had something else. What's that? This is some water I got from a swamp just down the road, and I collected the sediment down the bottom with it as well. Should have just given that a bit of a shake to get the sediment in. The idea of that is it's got water fungi and water bacteria in there, and when things fall into swamps and creeks and stuff like that, they tend to get covered with a slime and they break down when they get back on land again. So that's the idea of that. I think that's all I need.
Yeah.
Now, that's, can I see? I think that's about 500 ml.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just going to add a litre of water on top. That'll do it. About 3/4 in.
Here we go. There's a bit
Leave
light.
that. This is the fun bit. It's just getting it to about a 60% moisture content where you can just squeeze it out through your hands without getting any real liquid out of it. I use this for fishing, this pollard. Best burley.
So is that a fraction of the wheat as well, or is it actually just crushed up wheat?
It's bran, which is about, it's so many microns.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's one of the, it's like the dust of bran.
Oh, wow.
Just gonna get upwind. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit dusty. I should organise myself a bit better here.
it takes up part of it.
I should have had a bigger bucket to put it in.
You can put it in this one if you want.
No, that's alright, I'll persevere. Needs more liquid.
Yeah.
Where are we? There we are. Yeah, it's coming together. It's amazing, like cement, you just get to that bit where it's dry and it doesn't do anything, and then you just add a little bit more water. And that's right. Oh, forgot something, didn't I?
What?
I've got to add this other stuff. The dry ingredients. I've got some wood chips from the fig tree. I've got some rock dust. I've got... what else have I got?
Are you sure you don't want this thing here?
I've got two
You
mud
can
castings.
take them inside if you don't mind.
Huh?
I've got worm castings and some soil that I made with bokashi earlier. What else was there? Something else. Oh,
Leaf mould?
some castings off the thing. Leaf mould we
And the
haven't
yogurt
had
tub?
yet. Yogurt tub. This is Yvette's leaf mould from under a bamboo. Now what's this? Ah, this is a magic mix. Fermented clay and some burnt clay. And I've got a mosquito. It's been for a while. Didn't need that bit.
Looks good enough to eat.
It's smelling alright too.
They're good burley mix.
It's a burley mix.
But I mean,
Herring go mad on this.
on FPJ and everything too.
Oh, yep.
Oh, there you go.
Why not?
I actually paid money for some kippers the other day and thought, my dad's the fisherman, and every time I fish with him, I catch fish.
Really?
I can't be bothered going on my own.
Well, there you go. You can make some good FAA then.
Yeah, well, except he lives in Albany.
Ah, there's your problem.
There's my problem.
Well, that's a good place to fish.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? As a kid, I grew up on barramundi,
Really?
all the good fish up north, mackerel, trevally, all caught ourselves. You know, the deep sea fish, the fingermark bream, etc., etc.
Oh wow.
And the amount of carcasses we've just left on a beach
Oh,
in
no.
the ocean somewhere. I think about it now and I think, oh,
What a
FAA
waste, eh?
deluxe. But, you know, especially putting some of those big mackerel out. My dad would never eat tuna. He'd catch it just for the sport of it and then put them back in again.
Oh wow.
Can't eat tuna, that's rubbish fish.
Okay, I think that's about it. Now, that's all mixed through. It's clumping up reasonably. So it's not like it's over wet, it's just got enough. What will happen is this will sit in a bag, which we're going to put it into. That's where the fun begins.
You want to hold that open? There you go.
Now I've got... what do I do to them? You're going to have to give me a brush later on to get this off the table, I think. There you go.
Yep.
Sorry this was dark, guys. We were yakking.
As you do.
Where are you, Kevin? couldn't have had that many encores.
I know, I made a dal especially for Kevin, and he's not even here to eat it.
Oh.
Okay, that's that. Now, this is just a express mail bag which is black inside, and I've just screwed that up on top. I'm using some of my handy dandy rubber plant ties.
Are they reusable?
Yep.
Unlike cable ties.
Not cable ties.
Cable ties are reusable. They're just really tricky to reuse.
Do you know how to open them?
Yeah, you just got to get a knife and open them up.
Yeah, but don't you have to kind of like work every little notch basically to get it open?
No, once you get it in there, but yeah, they're very
okay.
fussy. They're sort of like.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do you need an extra hand?
My eyes are gone. Come on, get through there. There we go.
So how long do you leave that in there for, Richard?
This is 2 weeks,
2 weeks in there.
and then we dry it out in the sun. I just spread it out on.
But doesn't the sun kill some of the bacteria?
It will, but the thing is you're wanting the most resilient of them all, and some will sporulate and some will insist, and they'll sit there, and then when you go to use it again.
Pull it
So
back a bit,
that's that particular batch. So
Awesome.
I'll leave it at that. I'll put this other lot in another bag, but I think we can quit on the filming there.
Awesome.
It's just a red button on the side there.